I got started in the music industry when I went to a music college in my hometown of Brighton. I went to a college there for about 2 years. And then when I finished my course there, I kind of searched online to find a songwriter that I could drum for. And this was back in the day when kind of MySpace was still quite alive and everyone was uploading songs to that. So everyone had a MySpace page. So I spent weeks just going through trying to find a songwriter that was kind of writing songs that I like listen to and want to play. And I found Andy's MySpace, sent him a message on there just saying, if you ever want a drummer, I'd love to play for you. And it took him a couple of weeks, but he eventually got back to me going, yeah mate, definitely, let's meet up in London. So we kind of met up, had a drink. We talked about the kind of music we're into, and it was the same sort of thing. And from that moment on, we kind of decided, yeah, let's do it, let's set up a band. And then we got the other guys involved. And then, yeah, it just kind of went on from there. Well, I think a song that I kind of heard when I was younger that changed my life probably would have been something from like Live and Nebworth, the Robbie Williams DVD, and probably Let Me Entertain You or something like that, because I was quite young at the time and I got this DVD for Christmas and I put it on, and there's something like 130,000 people in a field in Nebworth, and Let Me Entertain You starts, and he's got like a 15-piece band or something, and you just see them start this song and the crowd's arms went in the air, and from that moment on I just thought, I've got to be on stage, I've got to be playing the drums. And that's kind of when I really fell in love with the drums, because his drummer at the time was this incredible player, and he's had this huge silver drum kit and he's just rocking out in front of 130,000 people, and I thought, this is definitely what I've got to do. Number one, you got to be friendly, because I think being in a band, you're spending pretty much your entire life 24/7 with the same people, whether it's people in the band or the people in the team around you. And if you're not kind of personable and you don't get on with each other, then it's not going to be a very long career, and there's going to be big fallouts and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty important. Obviously, the talent, it's got to be there. You've got to be working hard at what you want to be the best at what you're doing, and you've got to work hard and practice for years to get to the best you can be. So I think you've got to be positive, because there's plenty of times in the industry when it looks like nothing's going your way and it's not going to work out, and it just looks like you're on a downward slope. But one little thing can kind of change the whole course of your career and your life. So just stay positive and just try and get that one positive thing to happen, and make it happen for yourself, really. If you're a singer or a drummer or whatever, kind of try and get excited by all the other things as well. Like, I'm really lucky, I'm so excited by live music and the kind of the production side of things, that I don't just kind of have the one interest. I'm interested in the whole live music scene as a mass kind of thing. So definitely have different interests like inside the music industry, whether it's kind of the online, like if you really want to get into your online stuff, or the design or the artwork or anything like that. Make sure you're kind of really interested in the whole career as a whole thing. The hidden heroes for us in our career are definitely our management team, and also the live team. And it's people that kind of don't really get the recognition that they sometimes deserve. But like, there's always people at the office kind of making sure that the career's still going in the right direction, and that's kind of your management team. And then on a day-to-day level, like on the road, most of the time you have someone from management there as well. But if you don't, you're always going to have your tour manager there, and your sound guys, and your backline crew. And every single day for 2 months or 3 months or however long the tour is, which can sometimes be like 2 years long, it's your tour family, and you get so close to those people, and the show wouldn't happen without them. And you start off when you're in a band and you get to the venue so early, and you're setting up your own gear, and you're there for hours tuning your drums or tuning your guitar and sound checking and stuff. And then as your career progresses, it's quite sad in a way. You do less and less, and then you turn up at the venue at about 4 o'clock and everything's already done. All the gear's set up, and it's really great if you're quite lazy and stuff. It's amazing, everything's done for you. But sometimes you're like, I kind of wish I could just go down the venue and set up my own gear today, because that's kind of the fun bit of when you start off being a band. But as a band, we like to get quite creative, and we have a lot of influence in the designs and stuff of all our artwork and everything ourselves. And that started right from the beginning. I remember when we decided on the name Lawson, and when obviously it's named after a surgeon who saved the lead singer Andy's life. And so that's kind of, I came up with the idea for the A to kind of be like a heart monitor. So that's where that kind of came from, and from that like the first kind of whole tour production kind of took shape. We kind of had a heartbeat kind of as the intro music and stuff like that, and from then I kind of really got involved in the designing of the show, because when I was younger, I was a bit of a geek when I was younger. Like when I was really young, I used to kind of set up fake stages in my room with like Jenga blocks and flammable people as the crowd and stuff like that when I was about 5 or 6, which was a little bit geeky. But after that, I kind of started designing on paper. I'd draw massive stages and stadiums and spend hours drawing each individual seat, which kind of probably is the first sign of madness, I think. But no, it was great, because when it came to doing kind of a big tour, I kind of got to get really involved in the design of the stage and the lighting, and I'd kind of draw a kind of really rough thing, send it to our production manager, then I'd have a meeting with our lighting creator and kind of create something around the initial drawing, which I found so exciting. Like, I remember the night before the first night of tour, I couldn't really sleep, because I thought, tomorrow I'm going to wake up, walk into this massive venue and see this stage that I just drew on a little piece of paper. And that was so exciting for me, and it's just great to get involved in that side of things, because you feel like you have so much more control over your career and the visuals that go with it. I think it's so important these days for us to have kind of a lot of creative control over designs and stuff like that, because you want everything to kind of be as one. Like when you're releasing an album, you've got a cycle coming up. Like the artwork for the singles has kind of really got to be related to those singles and kind of lead up to the artwork for the album. So I think it's nice to have some sort of theme the whole way through, and then also that's kind of got to translate onto the stage. And I think if you're kind of really getting involved yourself, you can kind of make sure you get it right, because like a campaign for an album can be 2 years long, sometimes even 3 years long. If you're not really happy with the kind of artwork direction, then you're not going to be happy with any of the single sleeves, any of the album sleeves, and then eventually the set for the tour, like the stage, you're not going to be essentially really happy with that. So if you can get involved right from the beginning and kind of really get involved in the design of that, then you're going to be a lot happier, and you're going to feel like it's kind of exactly really what you want.